Neon Blast Battle, the Neon Corporation's coveted tournament of robotic glory, is beginning once again. While you can decide who you want to take control of on this journey, your goal remains the same. Win the tournament and become the next NBB superstar. Sprint through intense obstacle courses, battle bloodthirsty bosses, and die trying in the pursuit of stardom. Just remember, don't ask too many questions, stay on the right path, and whatever you do, don't go. Welcome, bots and droids, to another bomb-slapping, rage-inducing, and boundary-breaking episode of You Should Play, a show where I brave deadly gauntlets to find the weirdest, spookiest, and most unique indie games to blast my viewers with. This week, we're taking a look at NBB.exe, a new and challenging mix of 3D precision platforming and Metroidvania-esque exploration through an overworld with plenty to hide just underneath its glossy surface. Pack your bombs and bring a few extra controllers. It's time to talk about why you should play Neon Blast Battle. There's plenty of weird to get into in this video, but we've got to start from the ground up for this one. The gameplay of NBB can best be described as trial and error, as in trying to frantically dodge obstacles from all directions, and dying many times in the process. Alongside the standard platforming controls of running and jumping, this title takes a page out of Bomberman's book with the ability to place and push timed bombs. However, NBB diverges itself immediately from the traditional gameplay that would accompany these mechanics. Rather than using your bombs to fight enemies, most of their use is instead integrated into the game's fast-paced platforming and puzzle solving. This shift in thinking allows for more creative obstacles throughout the length of the game, such as pressure plates, breakable walls, and even using the bombs as makeshift cover, adding and stacking multiple bomb-based mechanics to its levels as the player progresses that require quick thinking and even quicker dodging. While simple at first, NBB's difficulty really starts to kick into full gear as you reach the later stages of the base game, but not before giving the player plenty of practice first. Rather than introducing new mechanics throughout the game, NBB instead gives the player their entire set of controls right from the start. This decision allows the game to introduce mechanics through its level design, which cleverly teaches the player more advanced strategies and uses for their abilities as they gain more and more practice with the skill set. To put it simply, NBB wants to create a challenging experience through how you play the game, not by bogging the player down with new buttons to press and functions to learn, which means that all of your practice through each level of the game is compounded, reinforced, and tested from beginning to end, based on how you use the tools already provided to you. Not only are these skills useful within NBB's difficult stages, they're also vital in your exploration of the overworld itself, and all of the secrets that lie within. Rather than locking each of its stages to a level select screen, NBB is instead broken up into several overworld areas, which themselves can act as platforming levels to progress to the next stage. This overworld isn't just included for the sake of padding, however, as there are numerous characters to talk to, mysterious logs to discover, and hidden pathways branching all across and even outside of the map. While each stage of the game is numbered, NBB's overworld isn't bound by that numerical structure, nor are future stages locked behind it. In what first appeared to be a linear experience, I was astounded to find secret corridors that led into even more secret corridors. Finding ways to break out of the normal route and being rewarded for thinking outside of the box. Because of the paths I discovered in my playthrough, I ended up following a completely different route that skipped past an entire chapter, and was instead presented with even more clues hinting at a grander story at play, which only led me even further off the path to follow more of these strange breadcrumbs left behind by the developer. Even though just completing each stage of NBB is required to roll the credits, you're missing out on most of the content it has to offer if you're sticking to this linear approach, which completely upended my perception of what I thought I was getting into with this title, and threw me down a rabbit hole that I couldn't resist crawling even deeper into. all of this, just like NBB's alluring corridors, is for me to lead you right into the game's story. NBB.exe, from the moment it's booted, greets the player with flashy graphics, clean and shiny surfaces, and cutely designed robots who are eager to prove themselves to each other and the world. In fact, that's exactly what kind of game you're getting if you stay on course and do exactly what you're supposed to. Now you've beaten every challenge the game has thrown at you from the start of this grueling tournament, failing so many times along the way but never giving up. Indeed, NBB's story is a cute and simple tale of one robot's determination against all odds to try and become the next champion, putting the player through so many challenges simply for the dopamine rush of overcoming them. But what if I told you that you don't have to stay on this course? What would Neon be hiding behind all of those locked doors? What's up with these strange text logs popping up all over? What's the point of this tournament in the first place? If you really take the time to explore and try to answer these questions, there's an entirely different and even more difficult experience just waiting to be unearthed. If you dare to delve into the mysteries woven through NBB's world, you will be punished for it. But what you'll find on the other side of that challenge is exactly why I'm talking about this game. I couldn't put my controller down for hours as I let NBB's story drag me deeper and deeper into its dark secrets, leaving me glued to my screen in what initially seemed like a simple speedrunning platformer. If you're a fan of games with layers of hidden content like Nier Automata and Dark Souls, the developer of NBB has crafted a new puzzle to stave that ravenous hunger for discovery. I felt so much joy with each new secret uncovered, the twists and turns along the journey, and the thrill of overcoming extreme odds for another fix of cryptic storytelling, from beginning to end, to end, to end, to end. Overall, NBB.exe is a deceptively simple precision platformer that borrows a little bit of influence from a multitude of games and crafts something entirely new from those pieces. The gameplay is certainly more challenging the further you progress, and some stages may feel overwhelming at first, but the simplicity of the controls allows the player to lock in and focus entirely on the level around them, without wrestling with unnecessary factors such as alternate abilities or weapon swapping. Not only is there plenty of content for players to discover and play through, this title also knows exactly when to let the player go without overstaying its welcome or letting its level designs get repetitive. This game is challenging, ambitious, unconventional, and most importantly, weird, with hours of visually and narratively wild content awaiting those who take the time to look for it. It's for all of these reasons that you should play NBB.exe. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. This is a small channel, so please remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed and subscribe for all things weird and spooky. We've just recently passed the 1,000 subscriber mark, so clearly every single one of you makes a huge difference and gets me that much closer to being able to do this work for a living. Do you have a game recommendation for me to check out next? Is there cryptic knowledge from Beasts Beyond the Stars that you want to chant in my ear? Leave a comment below. If you want even more moose in your life, I stream weird and spooky indie games every Saturday on YouTube and Twitch, so come and join the chaotic fun. There's also a Discord channel full of weirdos, cool artists, and all sorts of forbidden knowledge about what I'm working on next. All of these links and plenty more can be found in the description below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.